Okay, so let me resume. So this is, I was saying that this is future value, this is present value, and this is interest rate. Okay, so if we apply this, the given numbers here, if we apply the given numbers, the present value is $1,000, and the interest rate is 20%. So this is 0.2. So the future value will be $1,000 times 1.2, which will be $1,200. So to answer this question, that how much money do we have after a year? Okay, we can say after 1 year we'll have $1,200. Okay. Is there any question here? No. Okay. Now let's make this more complicated. Now I have a question here that it says, how much money do we have? How much money do we have after 2 years? How much money do we have after 2 years? Consider to be a simple interest, which means the interest amount, or this $200 amount, will not be considered as the present worth or the capital amount of money. Okay, so here we apply the formula for simple interest. The simple interest here simply says, okay, so this is the present value, and then 1 plus how many times, how many years it has passed. So because 2 years is passed, so 2 times 0.2, which means 1,000 times 1.4, you will have $1,400. Simple interest is like this. Simple interest says, okay, the interest amount, or the profits you got from your initial amount of money, will not be considered for more interest. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have a question. So, would it be the same if we would do 1,200? Oh yeah, like 1,200 times 1.2.
That is compound interest. Very good. That is compound interest, which means, okay, after a year, our money is $1,200. And then if we have this amount of money and the interest rate is 20%, okay, this will be multiplied by 1.2 to get the final value. This is compound interest, which means the $200 we got here is considered for more interest. Okay, so let me write here what you said. So here is the same question. How much money do we have after 2 years? This time, after 2 years, this time compound interest. We want to consider compound interest. Okay, so we can say, okay, so future value will be the present value times 1 plus I to the amount of year, or to the number of years passed. So here we've got $1,000 and then 1.2 to the second power, which means the same thing that you said. $1,200 will be multiplied by 1.2 again. Okay, this is called compound interest. Is it okay? Great.
So what? When is simple interest used and when is compound interest used? So for like how? Why is it different? Because you asked the same question, the same question, right? But you like said it like simple interest and compound interest. So
Yeah. In simple interest, the amount added, which is the 200, will not be considered for more interest. So generally, this $1,000 is again considered for interest. So 1,000 times 1.2, 1,000 times 1.4. So the 200 will be the interest. We can withdraw this money. We can withdraw the $200 every month from the bank. Do you understand? But in compound interest, that amount of interest will be accumulated to the capital. So again, interest will be interest will be applied for that amount of interest again. I can make more examples to clarify this.
I understand it, but I mean like okay, so we have the same question, right? But how do I know when to use which one?
The question is saying clearly. The question
Simple
here, the question here is saying that okay, consider simple interest, and then here the question is saying consider compound interest. So it is clear that the question is saying clearly up which formula to use. Okay. Okay. Now let me ask you another question for the sake of practice, and then we can work with more difficult problems of compound interest. Okay, now we put a $3,000 in the bank account. Consider the interest rate to be, let me write the whole term. This is the interest rate, or annual interest rate is 30%. Okay, and then we want to know how much money we've got after a year. How much after a year? How much money after 2 years? Simple interest. And after 2 years, this time with compound interest. Okay. Will you do the calculation?